Hi to everybody, please. Y'all are going to hear my service dog. I'm very sorry, but he's being bossy.
How about now? There we go. Holy crap. What a waste of a minute and a half. I hate this program. I'm sorry, everybody. So let me start over. Hi there. Dark Sword here. We're not going to do the usual things. Thank you. Appreciate that. And whoever hosted, I didn't catch it. Thank you. Um, we're going to be discussing transitioning out of the military. We're not going to be doing the what's the word I'm looking for? The random news articles I keep finding. So we're going to go over some of the trials and tribulations that have been happening since was discharged over 20 years ago, which are still occurring to this day. So we're gonna just kind of jump right into this. By the way, I am uh, joined again by my lovely co-host, Nevermore. Nevermore, say hello.
Hello.
And we're going to kind of go right off into this. Now, one of the things that they taught me how to do was PowerPoint presentations in the military because, everybody loves a PowerPoint presentation.
Death by PowerPoint.
Pretty much, but we're not going to be doing death by PowerPoint tonight. So, kind of the thing is, we're going to discuss how the military fails to prepare service members for the civilian world and some of the.
Share it on your stream and where I can read it, please.
Oh, did it drop again?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault.
Yes,
Technical
it-
difficulties.
there it is.
There we
Okay.
go.
There we go. So, we're going to discuss some ways to help out these service members. Hopefully, we get some folks watching even after the fact that are, still in the military and can reach out and ask questions and other things from those of us who have been through this nightmare. So we're going to go ahead. Let's see. Let's define who we are. Okay, and I say we because we are people who signed up to serve our government in the United States military. Doesn't matter what branch or division you were in, you took the time to say, I'm willing to give my life for in defense of our nation and the Constitution. So, here we are. Once you get through basic training, you are a trained warrior. Everybody, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, has to qualify with some type of a weapon, be it an M4 or an M16, depending on when you were in. Um, M9 pistols, which of course they keep changing these things. Some, infantry, maybe have different, more weapon systems they have to qualify with. But we're trained warriors that, we're taken from a civilian, and in 8 to 10, 12 weeks, whatever it is now for some of you, you are changed from a civilian into a warfighter. Okay. Like it or not, that's what you are. Now, we can argue that fact till the cows come home. But the truth is, that is what, we have been trained to do. And we're going to discuss a little more about that in a bit. We are also leaders. It doesn't matter if you, never made NCO, you got to the E4 Mafia with a sham shield or, whatever. You still have learned leadership. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. But you have learned leadership. Okay. We are specialists in our field. Doesn't matter what job you've done, you are a specialist in that job. You have been trained to do so. You have learned while you were on the job. I mean, There's no better training than actually being there. Somebody else hopped in the channel. Hey, thank you for stopping in. I appreciate having you here. Feel free to hop in the chat if you have any questions or concerns. We're here. Um, if you have anything to add, feel free. And also, head on over to the Discord if you so desire. I'm still working on the Reddit thing, but I still have it on there. Where were we? We've learned how to work as a team. You know, as opposed to you when you're brought up, not many people play sports anymore in school, so you don't know how to be a team member. But you still get there and you do what you got to do. But you have to learn how to become a member of a team to get through your basic training. Because as an individual, you can't do that. That being said, as the next bullet says, we are still individuals. We are still who we are. Okay? That has not changed. What has changed is our mindset, how we do things. It goes back to being trained as warriors. Excuse me. Nevermore, you can jump in anytime if I'm missing something here. Let's see. And then, we're a family. We were all, oh, how shall I say, mentally challenged enough to enlist or sign up for the military to create some kind of better life for ourselves in some cases. Learn, get education and experience in something that would take 4 years of college, and you get it done in 6 months to 2 years. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of benefits to joining the military. It also helps you learn discipline, which some people still have trouble with as they progress through the ranks. But all in all, we are a family, and we are supposed to look out for each other. When the shit hits the fan, the flag goes up, the ball goes up, the flare has gone up, whatever. That person on either side of you, you have to be able to trust to be able to do their job effectively, just like they have to trust in you. That is your brother or your sister. All right. If you think it's anything other than that, you shouldn't be in the military. Okay. Very simply put, they are your family member, and they are your family member for life. Let's go. Come on, get over there. There we go. Now, this is not an all encompassing list of things, but here's how we've been failed. And I say we because I was failed too. When we are discharged from the military, be it medical, or you fulfilled your contract and ETS or whatever they're calling it nowadays, you were not trained to become a civilian again. Okay. After you spend years in uniform, you do not know how to civilian. Okay. I know I sure as hell didn't. Kind of hard to, fit in someplace when, this is the next bullet. Where do we fit in the civilian world? All right. We spend years knowing where we belong in the food chain, where we rank, what our jobs are. All right. So, Private Joe Snuffy over here has his job. You have your job. And Jane Snuffy has her job. And we all do it to accomplish the mission. But in the civilian world, things overlap. So we aren't entirely sure, in most cases, how we fit back into society. All right.
Well, not only that, but we go from being told when to go to bed, when to get up, when to be where, when to eat, when to shower, when to do this to that, and then you wake up the next day and you're a civilian and you don't know how to freaking do it without being told to do it, if that makes sense.
No, it's exactly what it is. Like I said, we're not reprogrammed. I mean, for all intents and purposes, when you join the military and you go through basic training, you are being programmed to be a soldier, airman, marine, sailor, coast guard. All right, that's what they are creating in that time frame. So you're being programmed. I hate to use the term, but that's exactly what it is. Hey, Toxic, thanks for the host. I appreciate it. The problem comes in is we're not taught how to go backwards. We still have this military mindset that we come out into the civilian world with and try to military it. And we get frustrated. Guilty as charged. I've run into a lot of civilians, even working for the Department of Defense, that were never in the military, and they still don't comprehend the military. And they don't comprehend veterans because, our enlistment may have ended, but the oath we've taken didn't expire. Nobody put an expiration date on it. I don't remember raising my right hand and swearing to uphold and defend the Constitution until my contract ended. That was an open-ended thing. Now, this is where I'm going to get into my way of thinking things. There is a reason that we are not reprogrammed to be civilians and take that warrior out of who we are. All right, this is not a tinfoil hat thing. This is a common sense thought, at least as far as I'm concerned. For a certain period of time, even after your 8 years, because everybody signs up for a minimum of 8 years, in the event something does happen to our nation, we're being invaded or whatever like that, we have the ability to stand the line with active duty because we still know where we fit in that instance and how to do things. And that doesn't go away. Again, I've been out for over 20 years. If you were to tell me right now, I need you to do what you used to do, I can go. Some of it's probably lost to the brain fog of depression and anxiety and everything, but I could go back and do it. Okay. It might be a bit of a learning curve, but I could do it. I don't know about you, Nevermore. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I was paid to guard shit and shoot shit, so yeah, I could do that.
Effectively, we were all paid to do that. So,
Well, security forces, so yes.
yeah. I mean, if you take, we have active duty that are being paid. We have our reserves. We have National Guard that can be called upon if necessary. But I keep 11 million veterans, 5 million of which are fully physically capable of towing the line, and standing the line with everybody else in the event of an invasion. Right? That is a massive fighting force. And I think that is one reason the military does not reprogram us. I still think it's a drawback on their part. But that's my opinion. We're kind of not given the tools to understand that the freedom that we've been fighting for is now ours to enjoy. All right. We don't know how to do that. Right. We leave that comfort zone of the camaraderie of the friends that we've made and, the units that we've been in throughout the years. And now we're out on our own and be like, you can do whatever you want to do. Going back to Nevermore's point. All right, what time do I wake up? Where am I going to eat today? I mean, you spend years not having to worry about what clothes you're going to put on because Now you get to decide what color shirt you want to wear. Do you want to wear jeans or shorts? Sneakers or boots?
You also got to figure out that money. You used to getting that automatic money every it was 2 weeks back then. I don't know what it is now.
First and 15th.
That, every 2 weeks too. And not everybody jumps straight out of the military straight into a job. So now they've got to figure out what they're going to do to sustain themselves. But at the same time, I mean, think about it. Most of us that were in the service weren't really what I wouldn't say a lot of us sat there and saved a bunch of money for when we got out. No, we bought what we wanted when we wanted, no matter how ridiculous.
Yeah.
And now we can't do that.
Oh. Um, and we'll get into a little bit more of that come up here. Well, again, all right, now this goes down to the next bullet. What do you do without having a mission to focus on? Okay. Every unit I've been in has a mission. Okay. And then you have the sub missions for the different, units. Like, if I was, one of the units I was in was a frontline cav unit in Korea. Well, I worked for the HHT, the headquarters troop. So I worked in the S2 shop. So my mission was different than the 19 Deltas, I guess they are, the Cav Scouts. Who were, we had several companies of those. We had several companies of Air Cav. So their missions were different. So we had, there's multiple sub missions to the overall strategic mission. And now you're a civilian and you have no mission. And God forbid you're like me, who was medically discharged and I can't work any longer. What mission do I have now? Okay. And trust me, that plays into my depression more than I want to admit.
You actually have one in your chat room right now, which would be my other half that came out
Oh,
100% disabled. Now, the VA didn't do 100% right then and there, but he actually broke his back while in the service and is fused together with some rods and some shit. So he knows exactly what that's like if you ever need a guest. But he's also made some good points down there.
yep.
He might not know what the Spartan Pledge is. I'll tell him what the Spartan Pledge is in a minute.
Okay, but no, Killgirl. That's, I mean, that is a very good points you've got going on there. They don't make sure we understand what those freedoms are. Because we're on call 24/7, 365. And you're right. Every recruit should learn how civics, and more than just understand their oath. But that's going to be a topic for another show. Because there's a lot of problems that are going on across the military right now that I am just disgusted with. So maybe that's going to be on Wednesday. And yes, somebody will explain the Spartan Pledge to me later. As far as I can tell right now, if they're, in your face telling you stupid shit, you kick them in the chest down a hole.
No, no, no. The Spartan Pledge is completely different. It's for after you get out, what does a warrior do when they have no mission? So the Spartan Pledge is actually a mission. I can read it to you real quick.
Okay. I'd appreciate
that. Spartan Pledge. I will not take my own life by my own hand until I talk to a battle buddy first. My mission is to find a mission to help my warfighter family. And then you basically take the oath to do that.
Oh. All right, I need to add that to the page.
I will send you the Facebook page. I cannot remember for the love of me who started that. I know who it is in my head.
I can do a Google search for it later if I just have to remember it.
But brain doesn't work when it.
Don't worry about it. We'll add it to the page later.
But that's literally something that a lot of us took through like our podcasts and stuff due to the fact that, as you were saying in this one, what's your next mission? Well, right now with the system failing us and the military failing us as we get out, the only thing that we have to make a mission is to keep each other alive. That's our main mission now. So if you think you get out and you don't have a mission, trust me, you got one.
Oh yes, and we're going to discuss some of that in a little while. Here's another thing they don't really teach you to do. I went to a resume writing class before I got discharged, which was fairly worthless. They teach you how to write one kind of resume. The problem is there are many different types of resumes that you have to write if, depending on the type of jobs you're looking to get. Are you looking for something in the civilian sector as a contractor? Are you looking for something in the federal service? There's a lot of variable there that they don't touch on. Okay. So what they taught me how to write was completely incorrect for the time. I had to go online and find out for myself, excuse me, what type of resume was required for whatever jobs I was looking to do, what information needed to be on it, where that information needed to be, how thorough did I need to be with it. Did I talk in the first person or did I talk in the, third person? Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened. I mean, they don't know what they're doing. They're just like, well, here's how you write a resume. Where the hell did you learn how to do this? You already got a job. Okay.
Again, not to throw in, but there are, and I would have to look them up, but I do know that there are free veterans resume help services. So if you do or just got out or trying to redo a resume, you've been out for a little bit, there are places. The best thing you can do is just Google veteran resume services because 95% of them are nonprofits and will help you get your shit together.
Yes. And they know how to translate what you did in the military to the civilian sector. Or if you want to try and go a different route, how to rewrite your resume to and tailor it towards that job. Okay. There was a Facebook post recently about a young man who was still in high school who was extremely blunt on his resume. And it basically said, he'd never been employed before. I would be a good addition to the team. I'm a team player. I work well as an individual, and I need the money. They hired him. I mean, but again, young man, never had a job. Now you've been in the military. You need something to relate to the civilian side of the world, what you did and how you did it.
Yeah, because I hate to say it, and I'm not even being funny. You can't put on your resume, I went to war and killed people. That's not going to work.
Yeah,
You're
that
going to have to
doesn't work.
translate that to civilian language to where they'll still hire you.
Now, if you want to be a contractor and go back overseas and, you know, HVT duty, things like that, then yeah, okay, you will tell them what you did, where you were, and how you did it. But you're not going to put, was shot at, returned fire and killed, terminated the aggressor. So, there are a lot of organizations that know how to reword things like that to make it nicer and understandable for those that are looking at it. I also don't tell you where to go for assistance in getting a job. Okay. Again, like Nevermore said, you can do a Google search for veteran resume services, but okay, where are you going to go look for a job? You could go. There are several big websites. Indeed,
Or
not
how
indeed.
do you look for a job?
Yeah, or how
Because
do
you
you?
spent 4 years being told what the hell your job was.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Do you? Does your city have a local job office that you can go into with your resume? Where do you go online to look? Do you go to Monster? Do you go to what is that? Not Indeed, or there's several
Yeah.
sites that you can go to, but which one's going to have the jobs that you're looking for? Do
I
you know
mean, they
what?
probably, a lot of them that went in at 18 and come out 4 years later, they probably don't even know what the hell a job fair is.
No, they probably don't. Uh, so there's a lot of information that's not getting passed along to the service members who are even the military.
I mean, it's the same with how do you find housing? How do you apply for an apartment? How do you apply for a house? Did you know you can try for a VA home loan, but you got to have that job first?
Yep.
Did you know you could do this? I mean, there's a lot of information, and I know they do exit classes. I know that's a they didn't have that when I got out, but I know, from my friends, they say that there's exit classes, but that's not a mandatory thing. And I'm like, it should be because your dumbass skipped them, and now what?
Yeah. Got a message from Colleen Webster from YouTube here. So I don't know what that means other than FYI. I got the FYI part. Colleen, if you're still watching, could you spell that out for me, please? I'm not aware of what that term is.
What's your YouTube channel?
Oh, YouTube. What'd I say?
You said YouTube.
That's what I know is YouTube. Thanks, Killer Gorilla, for the follow. Appreciate that.
Oh, well, I was gonna go to YouTube. What's your YouTube channel?
I don't know. I don't remember. It's probably Dark Sword 505. I don't have that up. I'll
I
get
was
to it.
gonna try to translate for you, but
Oh, it's just VOYFYI. I don't know what that is. Um, okay. They don't teach you how to
mm,
contact local VA. I don't know. Honestly, I've tried. I don't think if you're not at least crap, what is it? I can't remember. Um, if you're not at least an affiliate, I don't think you can.
I think you can. I did.
You
I
do?
don't know what an affiliate is.
I don't. They don't let me do it. They don't like me, man. You could try / okay, you found. Okay, cool. Um, they don't. They don't tell you. When you go to the VA, who you talk to or anything like that. They just like, you got medical issues, go to the VA. They don't, tell you anything about how to file for VA benefits. Now, they were getting better at it. That unless you're being medically discharged,
They don't
that
tell you how to get started. Like, they don't tell you that you need to go to a VA that has an admin department or get a veterans resource officer and go to their office, make an appointment, and get the paperwork started. They just, I mean, they make it sound like you can show up at the VA and they're like, here you go, we're going to take care of you. And that's not the way it works. It's a little bit of a process.
yeah, there's a process to it, or you do it online. Oh, cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. Um, excuse me. Veteran service organizations, they don't tell you about those. They don't give you any insight into how a veteran service organization can help you, get your benefits and things after you get out through the VA and whatever else. Um, they sure as
The
hell don't
next
tell
one's
you where
going to
to
set me
find mental
off.
health resources. All right.
No. I mean, literally, it's been in the last 3 years that, as they call them, and I disagree because I won't go there, but bad paper vets that got kicked out before PTSD actually became a thing and you could get medically discharged for it.
Mm.
Bad paper vets just now can only get 90 days of mental health services, even though the government's the one that fucked them up.
Exactly. And that's a problem. Now, some of them have been able to actually get their bad paper discharge changed
But
because of the
crotchety old vets are
circumstances
not
surrounding.
gonna sit there
No,
and
no.
go through that process because they've already been through such hassle and bullshit through the VA and everything else. They're completely turned off against the system. So they either live with it, go crazy, and end up in veterans court, or they go to outside sources
And that's
or the
that's the
bottle and
thing.
drugs.
Some of them just end up staying that way, and they don't know any other way to live, so they just stay angry. Um, and that's a sad thing. But everybody, I don't think I've met anybody of late that hasn't had the need to speak to somebody from the mental health world. Okay.
I mean, I
Um,
have a need for it. I just won't go do it.
I have a need for it, and I go to it because they give me the medications that keep me from not falling up in the corner and crying all day long. I'll admit that I am medicated because of my depression and anxiety and the PTSD the bouts of PTSD I have, because I cannot function as a human being without them.
We have a service dog, well, and one in training, but that's how we cope.
Yeah.
But but people don't even know about that kind of stuff. That service dogs exist, and there are organizations, especially for veterans,
Oh yeah.
to get them a way to start living a somewhat normal life.
Mm.
There's none of that. Like they don't even acknowledge that kind of support.
No. And they're not going to because it costs money.
But it won't cost them a shitting ass thing because there's so many 501(c)s out there that said, you know what, we're tired of this bullshit, and started providing it. Our service dog in training, because old man here, he's retired. Um, we went through an organization. They help raise the funds to get the dog. Now, yes, we self-trained, but there are free trainers in this world for veterans, especially with PTSD and mental disorders.
Oh yeah. I mean, I you can't see them, but I got two of my pups sitting back here, laying back here in the corner, and they're. I know that if I start going down, you know, the road of depression or whatever, somebody's got her head on my lap, looking at me, Dad, are you okay? And she'll stay right next to me until the time comes that I'm doing okay, and then she'll go take her space behind me, and that'll be that for a while.
Yes, we understand. Medication doesn't work for everyone, but the
No,
ones who do, we will never medicate shame. It's just some of us, it made us 10 times worse
yeah,
in our life. And so I do a lot better unmedicated. And I guess I've lived with it so long, I know how to cope.
right.
Versus, I don't want to see you balled up in a corner either. So take your medicine. So there won't be medicine shaming or service dog shaming or however you have to function back in society the best way you can. Do it.
Oh, that's cool. That's your foundation. Okay, so that's somebody that you can reach out to for.
It's somebody I can get you an
From,
interview with too.
yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah. Please refrain from spamming caps, please. Got a timeout. Um,
It's the bots, not dark,
yeah, that
promise.
was the bot that did it. Don't yell at me.
He won't.
Um, so he'll be back in a couple minutes. I hate. I'm sorry, but it's one of those things. Um,
Yeah.
and another thing they don't tell you is how any of these organizations, even the VA, has programs to help your significant other, spouse, and your family, to help them with the transition as well. And especially if you're disabled in some form or fashion, as your caregiver, there are resources for them through the VA and other organizations to help cope, and group sessions and things like that. They never tell you these things. There's a lot of information that is not relayed to service members as they are departing. It's is your are your quarters clean? All right, we'll sign off. Good luck. Have a nice life.
You turn in your gear. There you go. Bye.
You paid for whatever CIF told you didn't have, or was unserviceable, even though they're going to throw it out anyways. I hate CIF, but I got lucky the last time, but we won't go there. All right, back over to this one. There we go. And I will say this is our last slide for the night, everybody. All right. I did good. Kept it at 5. How can we help our family? Or, how can we help our fellow service members? We've already gone through this. All right. We've learned the hard way. So how can we help? Because a lot of us still know people who were active duty. They're still in the service, they're still serving, and you know, maybe they're getting ready to transition. It might. I wouldn't test yourself. You out for another couple minutes.
He, he just got on
Mm.
Discord or Twitch because I shared it to him, and he's like, I don't. I'm like, we have no control over it. Twitch is kind of
Yeah, Twitch
uh
does silly things at times. Oh, somebody else hopped in the channel. Thanks for showing. I appreciate you.
Yeah, we'll let you do if Dark wants a service dog show sometime. You
Oh,
just
I'd
gotta
love
stay
to.
awake.
I'd love to. I'd love to have a show dealing with that. You know, there's always some level of it. You know that as well as anybody. So, all right, back to our slide here. What can we do here? We can listen to their needs and concerns. They're getting ready to get out. Have those conversations with them. What are you planning on doing? What's your plan of attack? What are your courses of action on how to, you know, are you gonna go back in and move in with your parents for a short period of time and then go get your old job at McDonald's or whatever it was before you enlisted? You know, how are you going to move forward? We can help them do this. All right. And we do that by reaching out to them because, we talk about these things, say, I'm getting ready to ETS. I'm getting out of the military. I'm done with it. Military's done with me. So we can help. You know, that's what we're supposed to do as leaders. You know, you can volunteer for some of these organizations. Volunteer at some of the if you live near a military installation. Some of the things that they have going on there, you can volunteer. You come in contact with these service members, and they like to talk just like we do. Obviously, I talk a lot. That's why I have a show. um, you'd be able to talk to them and again, explain things and how the real world kind of works on the outside versus what they've been living with for the last 4 to 6 years on average. You can get them to join forums, groups, and support organizations. All right, you can do that. Get them to do it as well. If you find a support group of some kind that's online or Meta or whatever they're going to call Facebook, and other locations on the internet, you can join those groups and whatnot. And you never know, maybe you have a more recent answer to a question because you just got out or within the last year or so. So you know how that it works through their whatever service or branch that they're from. Um, you can even create your own transition training program for these people. So here's a list of stuff that I went through, that they didn't tell me about. So here's a checklist for you that you're gonna have to come up against, and you'll know what you're looking for. Simple things like that. Instead of training program, maybe a checklist would have been a better way to say that. Again, you're providing guidance, or you can offer to mentor these service members, because there are forums on these military installations that you can sometimes post up on a board. Hey, getting ready to get out. I'm a veteran. I can help with some of the trials, tribulations, loopholes, pitfalls that you're going to run up against. If you're within 6 months of getting out, let's talk. That kind of thing. There's a lot of ways that we can help our family members make this happen. Evermore, do you have anything to add?
No, not really. Like you said, we're not mind readers. We know our battle buddies, but if you're getting out and you're lost and they're not helping you, I still say go to their get out classes. But anyway, it's not going to teach you everything, and you're not going to realize that you forgot something as simple as, oops, I didn't find housing.
Right. No, definitely take those classes that they're offering, but take them with a grain of salt. Okay. You need to have a plan on what you're going to do, where you're going to go, and that sort of thing, so that you're not getting someplace and all of a sudden you've got no room at the inn, so to speak, and you're on the street or whatever, or you're having to pack up and relocate again because you know something bad happened. And I've had it happen where I was relocating from a job at Fort Rucker, Alabama, to work at the military academy at West Point up in New York. Of course, I spent time doing research trying to find some place to rent for me and my family. Well, I thought I'd found a place. I overnighted a deposit check to them and everything. We are literally packing the U-Haul. Okay, we're halfway through packing the U-Haul with all of our crap, and my phone rings, and it's the realtor, and they have decided they're going to sell the house instead of lease it, even though I've already signed all the paperwork. So here I am, hours from getting on the road to drive to New York with my family, and now I have nowhere for them to, for us to move into. You want to talk about stress? Not fun. So, well, I've kind of run out of things to talk about. Oh, here's one thing for you space people. Look, do a Google search for it and find it. Scientist, mathematician has actually created a small warp bubble. It's not theory anymore. A warp bubble is reality now. And it's been actually recreated as proof. So do a Google search and look that up.
Yeah, let's keep messing with things while the world is burning right in front of our eyes. Let's see what we can fuck with.
I remember the scientists at the ones in Sweden with the particle accelerator, and everybody all up in arms about, oh, they're gonna, they're messing with everything, and the God particle and this and that, and it's gonna create a black hole and all this other stuff. Well, they did it, and nothing bad happened.
Yes, but I'm talking about the world as it stands right now is a clusterfuck. We
Yes,
should not add to that problem.
but here's the question: how's a mathematician going to help? All right, now granted, we've all seen the TV show Numbers. It doesn't work that way in real life. All right. Yeah, Gene Roddenberry did, but guess what had to happen before that future took place? Just think. So, and no, the doctor's name is not shit. Forgot his name.
Well, it's definitely not shit.
Um, oh God, I can't remember the character's name that he gave him. Dr. Cochran, Zephram Cochran. The doctor's name is not Zephram Cochran. So, but there have been a lot of theories about creating something like a warp bubble to move ships through space and whatnot, and it's actually become a reality as of recently, which
There
I
you
thought
go,
was really
Space
cool.
Force. Y'all
Yep.
can go play with that. That's why they made a Space Force. You
Mm-hmm.
you fuckers can go alien chasing. I'm gonna sit my happy ass down here.
I'll keep playing my video games and whatnot. So,
Yeah, yeah. Leave us in our own little gaming world. I mean, oh, and that is something that we didn't discuss.
what's that?
One of the other things that for mental health that they don't talk about is finding an outlet. Whatever it
Uh,
is. Now, murdering people is not finding an outlet. I'm just going to say that bluntly. But like we have found a pretty decent little gaming community and that's our outlet. Like when all else fails and I don't want to get up and face the world, somebody can usually get me to go gaming. And
yeah.
it's just dumb coping mechanisms that you're like, well, I didn't think of that, or I didn't realize I was going to need a coping mechanism, or I didn't realize that when I got out, I was as messed up as I was, or dumb shit like that. There is so much that people don't realize until after they're out for a year or two and they're going, Jesus, I can't sleep no more. Man, my appetite shit. This is going on. I don't want to get out. They don't understand. And if you don't know what's going on with you, find someone who does.
Reach out, ask for help. I mean, it's it took a lot for me. I've talked about it before. I was really in a bad place. Now, I've never been suicidal. I've never had suicidal thoughts. I just knew that I could not function. And my girlfriend at the time, still love her to death, you know, she'd make sure I was eating. I had stuff, liquid refreshment, non alcoholic. If I was running low on cigarettes or whatever, she'd go to the store and buy them for me. So I rarely left my bedroom, you know. And I finally literally got to a point where it dawned on me that I can't do it anymore. And I admitted myself to a residential facility for 3 weeks. It did help some. It really did. Um, but it's still many years later, and I am still working on myself day to day as best we can. So, and no, Killa, I don't think anything bad happened. We're still here, and I don't know about the Berenstein versus Berenstein Bears. I'm not that well read, apparently.
How much bourbon have you had there, dear?
None.
Not you.
Oh, yeah. So, but, I mean, there's a lot of things we can do to help. And I can just go over these again and again and again, and I'm just not going to waste everybody's time doing that.
No, but you still have 13 minutes, so you better find something to talk about.
Well, yeah, we can always cut it short if we run out of stuff, and that's not going to, kill the stream all that much. But realistically, you know, a lot of times we're more reactive than proactive in our lives, and that's
Mm.
something that a lot of us need to change. Um, and that's the only way we're going to get to, uh, you know, get to where we want to be in life. I mean, I've managed to do a lot of things, even being disabled, that I've wanted to do, and I still have more things I still want to do. Um, and there's time for that to happen, but I'm gonna have to, you know, make myself do it. I have to become proactive and, you know, get everything in order so that I can go do what I want to do and have the money and time and, my animals taken care of and things like that. So we can do it. It's feasible. And I'm never going to forget this. Always, if you're in crisis or you know somebody who's in crisis or you think you want to talk to somebody, right up at the top of the screen, you can't miss it. The Veteran Crisis Line, 1-800-273-8255, and prompted, press number 1 for veterans. If you're a civilian, press number 2. If you are a caretaker of a veteran and they're having an issue, still press number 1. Okay? They will help you. It doesn't mean they're going to come grab you and throw you in a lockup, in a facility someplace. They will help you get to where you need to go. All right. You can also text them if you don't want to speak to somebody. Have that conversation. Reach out. Reach out to your battles.
You can
Okay.
also read his nice little screen. It says join forums, groups, and other support organizations. If you don't trust the crisis line, there are hundreds of other ways. There's even an app, and I've never talked about this before, and I can get you another interview. There's an app made just for veterans where you can either be a volunteer or you can connect with other veterans if you are in crisis. It's called Objective Zero. Download that app. You can use it on desktop, laptop. That will get you a human, whatever you need. If it needs to be a video call, if it needs to be a text, if it needs whatever. They give classes on how to deal with crisis. I'm telling you, there are so many things that I can't squeeze them into one episode uh, of Dark's lives because I throw one in just about every other time. But there's so many things out there that even Dark doesn't even know about. But I just happen to have been in that world of crisis prevention, so there are places to be.
Most
There are
definitely.
places you belong.
And you belong here with us, not in the afterlife. No forever sleeps.
I mean, I wear a 22 on my wrist for a reason, folks. Don't be another notch on that number.
Yeah. We're working on it. We got to get that number down. Sadly, it has not dropped like it should have.
Well,
So,
according to the numbers, supposedly it has, but I don't believe that.
yeah, I don't believe that either. All right. Well, with that, Nevermore, do you have anything to say to close out the show?
Um, I won't be funny because I tend to like try to end the show funny, but Folks, if you're fixing to get out and you're not re-upping, and even if you're going reserves or the nasty girls, there you still have to have a plan. You can't just go, well, I'm going National Guard, so I'm set. You're not set. Where are you gonna go? You can't live there.
They don't have dorms or barracks for you. You've got to find someplace on the economy.
So make sure you have a plan. If you can't figure out what the plan is, make sure your basic needs are taken care of,
Mm,
and then reach out and figure out what else you need to figure out.
exactly. And with
I don't
that,
mind taking in vets, but I don't have a house big enough to take in every fucker that forgot to get a house.
yeah, neither do I. All right. Well, with that, everybody, don't forget if you like what you've seen here today, have comments, concerns, make sure you reach out to us. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe button, and you know, got ideas for the show? Let us know because this is going to be our new format for the most part. I'm going to come up with some livelier slides and things to do. This is just first shot, and we'll see how it all plays out in the near term. We'll go from
And
there.
he's still planning guests. He
Yep.
promises. I've just got to connect him, but our schedules just don't work.
We can always do a special show. We just put it out ahead of time, so people can tune in on that day and time.
And giving feedback, folks. If there's a topic, sorry, Dark.
No,
If
go.
there's a topic that you wished had been discussed, upon a diagnosis or upon getting out, or you want more information on these groups and organizations, let us know so we can do our homework in advance. My brain doesn't work normal, so I think of it, I'll throw it out. But if you want more information on some of this stuff, you got to let us know, and we'll come up with lists and stuff for you.
Most
We
definitely.
can't make you do it. We can
Oh,
we can lead you there, but we can't make you drink.
exactly. So, with that, everybody. Take, so, with that, everybody. Take care.